Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening. A Tasmanian woman has shared the harrowing story of the night she thought she was going to die from a suspected drink spiking. The Hobart mother was celebrating the end of the work year with colleagues on Friday when the evening took a turn for the worst.
An emotional recount of the night this Hobart mother calls the most terrifying moment of her life.
I thought I was going to die. I was convinced I was going to die. I remember saying to Adam, please tell the girls how much I love them. Please tell them. Yeah, I thought that was going to be my last moment.
On Friday night, she was out at a popular Salamanca bar having a few drinks to celebrate the end of the year with her colleagues. But around 11:30, she says things took a devastating turn.
I had a couple of sips of my wine and straight away realised that my vision had gone. I could see my wallet and I could see my drink and that table, and I couldn't see people, I couldn't see anyone.
Mandy suspects her drink was spiked. She managed to quickly call her husband, who's a paramedic, before collapsing on the footpath just a few minutes later.
I felt like I just had no control over any muscles or anything, and every now and then I could say to myself, Mandy, just get up, and then I would lose that real vivid in my brain and it was just blank.
She was in a state like I'd never seen her before, semi-conscious, panicking, and really unable to be consoled.
She has since visited hospital, still recovering with her family today, both physically and emotionally.
I did everything they say to do. I was with friends, I hadn't drunk much, I had my drink with me. I was in a bright, airy place, a pub I go to all the time.
She's now hoping her story will be a warning for others to be aware of potential dangers. The incident has been reported to police. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
Marine police are pressing charges against 2 fishermen caught in possession of excess and undersized rock lobsters this morning. The 19-year-old and 50-year-old were intercepted at Tinderbox and tried to obstruct police by throwing a number of the crustaceans overboard. Police say the dinghy they were in also lacked the minimum safety equipment requirements. The pair will be charged with a number of offences. Police are yet to charge anyone after a man allegedly held up a South Hobart pharmacy with a syringe last night. The search continuing today after the man fled with prescription medication.
It was around 4:50 yesterday evening that police say this pharmacy was the scene of an alleged armed robbery, reporting a man used a syringe to demand medication. The discount pharmacy on South Hobart's busy Davey Street was preparing to close its doors for the day. Police say the male suspect took off with a quantity of prescription medication. He was last seen travelling west along Davey Street. No one was injured during the hold-up, but the man remains on the run tonight. Police describing him as being 180 centimetres tall with a medium build, aged in his 30s with a blonde moustache or possibly a beard, seen wearing a black hoodie, black gloves and black sunglasses. Police are now continuing their investigations into the incident and have urged anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers.
They endure through rain, hail or shine, but the legacy of the country's war memorials will soon be given new life in a massive online database. The Australian War Memorial is leading the Pride of Place project, and it comes as one family keeps up its fight to honour the service of a fallen sailor.
The descendants of Teddy Sheehan gathering in his honour. They may have never met the hero sailor, but it's an emotional visit to the Latrobe Memorial.
It's quite touching. It's almost like you're going to talk to a relative. Okay, he's not here, and my dad, of course, who was his brother. You're having a conversation with someone, and it's surreal.
Sites like these will soon be entered into a new online database, spearheaded by the Australian War Memorial. It will allow the public to load up the locations and images of every public memorial in the country.
I think it also brings together places that aren't necessarily known more broadly. There's a lot of people who are interested in our military history, and so it provides access to all of that information. While Teddy's legacy may be set in stone here, it's Victoria Cross recognition the family still wants for the fallen World War II seamen.
It's overdue, mate. It's overdue, and what can you say more than that? It's way overdue, and I think they got it wrong last time. They've been getting it wrong for over 50 years, over 70 years. It's time somebody corrected the record.
More hearings will take place in Launceston next year to consider the case. Teddy's nephew hopes to make the trip back from his home in Queensland to be there.
It's a long way to swim, but I'll get here if I can.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Police have been left shaking their heads after 2 drivers were caught allegedly racing up to 160 kilometres an hour near Ulverston. The drivers, aged 24 and 25, were stopped on the Bass Highway last night, with one testing positive for illicit drugs. They've both been charged with hooning and speeding. Meanwhile, road spikes had to be used to stop another dangerous driver near Devonport. The 33-year-old was taken into custody after he allegedly tried to evade police. Some former greats of the Tasmanian football and political worlds have joined forces for an inaugural fundraising baseball gala day at the Prince of Wales Bay Recreation Ground in Hobart. And although the quality of play may not have been of the highest calibre, it was all in the name of a good cause.
Raising money for Autism Awareness Australia today, so it's great that the celebrities that have come along today have given up their time to participate in this game, and it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Baseball Tasmania is now hoping to make the fundraiser an annual event. Tasmania's best show jumpers have saddled up for the state titles today in Westbury. There were plenty of thrills and spills as months of hard work and training were put on display.
Wind and rain is no barrier for these Tasmanian show jumpers. They've come far and wide for this weekend's state titles. Some, like Joe Geard, have been competing for nearly 20 years.
I've been riding since I was 7. We've had the season start in September this year, and this is our last event for the year. So we've been going week in, week out since then for this day.
She's among the 130 riders descending on the Westbury Showgrounds.
It's a massive day. It's years and years of training to get here, of late nights, early mornings, hard work.
But hard work and partnering with the right horse is the enduring appeal of the sport.
You want a horse that is able to go, well, actually, I've got to jump better and bigger to be able to jump the fences clean. But they've got to be brave.
The same could be said for riders with no shortage of falls during competition.
I mean, sure, it's always a concern that you're going to fall off, but you try your best not to, and if you do happen to have a fall, you've got to pick yourself up and go again the next week, otherwise you might as well not do the sport.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
It's been a tough weekend for the Hobart Hurricanes at Blunston Arena as the Sydney Sixers kept them to just the one win for the season. But the Canes battled all the way, with both matches coming down to the final over. The Aussie all-rounder set the tone early, making easy work of the Canes' quicks.
Through the infield, and that'll run away for 4. So Elise Perry has broken the shackles.
Perry's fellow World Cup star Alyssa Healy also on song before Brooke Hepburn claimed the breakthrough.
She's not finished yet. She's lofting and in trouble though, and she's gone.
Erin Burns picking up where she left off as the Canes attack struggled to find answers. Perry belting her way past 50 to leave the home side chasing 158. Young gun Erin Fazakali came out firing, only to come unstuck on the very next ball.
And that trend continues. Cap knocks her over.
Indian recruit Smriti Manhana then taking it upon herself to get the cane train back on track.
Big into the stands.
A risky single bringing Stephanie DeFara's day to an abrupt end, with Manhana sent packing on 21 soon after. Corinne Hall lasting just the one ball before Heather Knight provided a desperately needed spark.
Big shot. And into the stand.
But when the heavy hitter fell on 23, it was left to the Canes keeper to keep hopes alive.
That could be through the gap. And 4, much needed boundary there for Redmayne.
Redmayne almost single-handedly getting the Canes back into a winning position, but the tail order couldn't hang in as the Sixers sealed the 17-run win in the final over. It was another tight tussle between the two sides overnight, with DeFara belting 27 off 17 balls before Knight fired up, top scoring with 51, not out before the rain halted play after 15 overs. Chasing 152 under the Duckworth-Lewis system, Ashley Gardner and Erin Burns proved the danger women with the bat, as Gardner notched up 79 off 50 to guide the Sixers along to a 7-wicket win with just 2 balls left of play. The Kookaburras' hopes of an historic third World Cup title were shattered in India overnight at the hands of the Netherlands. The world number 4 Dutch got off to a flying start, slotting through 2 goals before half-time, before the Aussies rallied, with Tasmanian Eddie Ockenden scoring a last-minute equaliser. With a spot in the gold medal match at stake, the Netherlands were too good in the end, edging out the boys in green and gold 4-3 in a penalty shootout. The Kookaburras now play England later tonight for the bronze medal. And finally in sport, Tasmanian tennis fans got a chance to rub shoulders with one of the sport's rising stars today, with world number 31, Alex de Minaur, the special guest for the inaugural Festival of Tennis in Hobart.
Tasmania has a big summer of tennis coming up with a lot of great tournaments, and the fields are quite strong as well. So, you know, hopefully the Tasmanian crowds can get behind the Aussie players and we can have a good run over here.
The 19-year-old recently overtook Nick Kyrgios as Australia's top-ranked player following a huge year, which saw him make his Davis Cup debut, reach 2 ATP finals and make the third round at both Wimbledon and the US Open. De Minaur also notched up 14 wins over top 50 ranked players, along with being named the Tour's Newcomer of the Year.
It's been incredible, probably something that I never expected. And it's just been a whirlwind of a year, which I've enjoyed every second of it.
De Minaur will compete at next month's Brisbane International, while Tasmania's first tournament for the summer begins on January 5 with the Hobart International.
Good evening. We had rain clearing the state early this morning, allowing for thunderstorm development. Hobart climbed to 26 degrees. It was 25 in Launceston, 21 in Burnie, and Devonport hit a high of 22 degrees. It was 28 at Grove. Ouse reached 26, 25 degrees at Flinders Island, 24 at Strawn. St Helens, Lowhead and King Island got to 22. It was 21 at Smithton and Maria Island, and 20 at Friendly Beaches and Lyowini. The satellite shows mostly convective cloud over Tasmania, with active thunderstorms peaking in the afternoon. On the bigger picture, we can see that same cloud extending over southern waters along the eastern part of the mainland. The central part of the country and most of WA remains cloud-free. Tomorrow, a broad trough extends over eastern Australia to ex-cyclone Owen over the east coast of Queensland. South to southwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, reaching 30 knots in the southeast in the afternoon, seas up to 3 metres. And there is a strong wind warning current for eastern and southern coastal waters from St Helens Point to Low Rocky Point, and for Frederick, Henry and Norfolk Bays, as well as Storm Bay. And it's shaping up to be a wet one across the state tomorrow, a shower or two for Hobart, a top of 23, 21 for Dover, a possible shower for Ouse. 50% chance of rain in Launceston, 27, partly cloudy in Devonport, Scottsdale, 24 degrees. A possible early shower in Burnie, Strawn will peak at 19, 21 for Stanley. 24 degrees at St Helens, Swansea a top of 22, and a shower or two clearing for Ross. The UV is high. Looking ahead, on Tuesday, showers mostly about the north and southeast. Wednesday, more showers about the north during the morning, extending into the afternoon. And Thursday, again, more showers as well as light winds. Taking a look around the country tomorrow, a partly cloudy day for Perth, 27, 28 for Adelaide, a high of 22 for Melbourne, a mostly sunny 29 in Sydney, and a few showers for Brisbane, 27 degrees. And currently in Hobart, there are thunderstorms, 18 degrees, Launceston mostly sunny, 22, and Devonport partly cloudy, 19. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks for that, Judy. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. Good night.